Amanda here with Homeschool and Life today, this week. And I know school's already kind of gotten started, but I was going to go ahead and, well, school's probably started for most of you guys, but I was going to go ahead and share what we chose for our 9th grade curriculum this year. It took me a little bit like getting into our school year to really like fine tune it and decide what we were going to do. So I'm glad, honestly, that I didn't make this video going before we started, because once we've started, we've already tweaked a few things. So I think what we've got it tweaked to is going to be more like what is our true subject list. So the way I'm doing our 9th grade is, so in 9th grade, you know, we are starting to count our credits, especially if you have a child who's interested in like collegiate athletes. You know, they need to really follow like the credits and the NCAA things and stuff like that. And I've already posted a video on that, and I'll link to it down here if you're interested. If you're not interested in any of that, like it's not near as stressful, I guess you might say, trying to make sure you have anything. So but for us, after talking with my daughter, what we decided is she wanted to have like her freshman and sophomore year be like a little bit harder, and then like her junior and senior year have more freedom. So she's pretty heavy, has a heavy load this year, and that's okay. I'm great with that. So that's kind of why we had to play so much around with our tweaking and scheduling, to leave a little bit more time for some interest and maybe to see what maybe career type classes she might want to take her junior and senior year. So we're trying to knock a lot of stuff out freshman and sophomore, and then we're also going to be doing dual enrollment classes next year for the college credit and your high school credit. So, well, I guess I can show you this at the end in case those of you guys tuning in are more just interested in our topics. We always have some sort of Bible, and this year I bought the Not Consumed Developing a Quiet Time. I'll also probably mention it when I share our family subjects video that I'm still working through. So I bought one for her age level. It takes just a few minutes to do. We just try to start our days like that. So and it won't take very long, maybe, I think they're 12-week studies. So after that is over, we'll probably pick something new. But for science, let's see, let me open this book for you. I had to go get it out of her room. We are doing the Apologia Biology. Lauren and I are doing it together with our 7th, 2 9th graders, and a 10th grader, and we're getting together and we're doing the experiments together. And this is a pretty heavy load, just with the reading and the work, and you know, we're having them do everything and the grading. But so far, like, this is really good. I mean, they have to take biology, so you might as well have Apologia Biology, and I'm liking the format of it, so I'm very happy with our choice. Let's see. So if you watched my video from last year, I'm pretty sure I probably mentioned it. We did some Spanish. I'd have to go back and look, but it was not good. I did not like it. She was very diligent about doing it. It was one of those like, 10 minutes a day kind of Spanish, but it was not what I'm looking for to have her like feel good about taking a Spanish class. So BJU has the Spanish, and after talking to other moms and reading lots of other reviews, it seemed to be a very good program. We're already 2 or 3 weeks in, and I do recommend. Like, it's laid out very well, and I have confidence, I guess, that by the end of this year she will have definitely learned Spanish, and they actually have a 1, 2, and 3. And so just this compared to what we did last year, like I went and got Spanish 1 because I didn't feel like we could do Spanish 2, and I was correct. So anyways, we're doing BJU Spanish for her. And this was new. I chose to do like a textbook style BJU writing and grammar for her freshman English, and I wasn't real like necessarily wanting to do that, but I was like, okay, well, she's got a heavy load this year, so we're gonna try a textbook style. In the past, for language arts, for her, I would always do IEW and just my own literature stuff, just because she's naturally gifted in writing and grammar and things like that. Like in her younger years, we always did fix-it grammar, and she's always written well on her own. Anyway, so I've never liked a textbook thing where, you're underlining all the verbs and things like that. So this year we did it, and it's actually working out pretty good. So, I mean, I know we're just starting school, but the beginning of all this, it has your grammar, you know, where it's teaching you the grammar concepts, and at the end of each lesson, there's some sort of writing, but we are skipping the writing. Just because, and your child, you know, it might be good for them, or you might want to do that. That's totally fine. The writing assignments are just fine. They're paragraphs, you know, journal entries, and there's more in here, but just at the beginning. So instead, I have picked up the IEW High School Essay Intensive. And what this does is it is a 12-week course to more get you ready for your ACT and SATs. And so as of right now, she's doing the grammar part on this one. I'm having her skip the writing, and then we are doing this IEW intensive. So because this is only a 12-week course, I'm just prolonging those writing assignments, but they're really good. The videos are good, the writing assignments are good, just for more ACT prep. And you know, when we finish this, I feel like what's gonna happen is these writing assignments will be sprinkled in, but I'm excited about doing this. You could probably wait until 10th, 11th grade to do this, but I thought, why not? Why not go ahead? So that's kind of how I'm doing the writing and grammar. Let's see, history. So for high school, they need a world history, for Arkansas where we're at, they need a world history credit and an American history credit. Well, last year we did a really good American history course. We did the Knotgrass, and we have a whole video about it. I can post it in here. And so for world history, instead of doing like small time periods, kind of like how Story of the World or Mystery of History breaks it down, since we've done that so much in our homeschool in the past, we just chose one shotgun course of world history, where it's one book and covers all of it. So this is Master Books, and I've liked it so far, except for I like the assignments and the projects and the extra reading material and just some of the resources with Story of the World and Mystery of History. So I'm going to be using this as my spine, just the subjects, the high points in the world history, and then I'm going to still have to draw from those other books for the other things that I want. But this is the world history that we chose to. Let's see, I got this actually from Lauren. If she she has her own book, but I copied her. I've always been excited to get to the high school years to do like the rich literature studies. Actually, I think there's probably a video about our book club. We do a book club with our teenage girls, and it was actually born because I assigned The Scarlet Letter as a literature read too early, and my daughter was a little bit miserable, which I don't blame her. I think I had her read it as like an 8th grader, and I don't think that most people read that until their junior or senior year. So that was a mistake on my part, and so then that's where our book club was born. But I was probably just so excited to get into like the literature and rich discussions. And so Lauren was doing this one with her too, and so it's basically exactly what I wanted. So this is it's called Great Christian Stories. We'll link to it. And they are all doing Robinson Crusoe right now. I've actually never read this book, so I'm going to read it with them so that I can be more participatory in the discussions. One of our goals this summer was actually to read The Count of Monte Cristo. That was my whole goal with them, and you know how it is, summer gets away from me and gets busy, so it never happened. So we're moving into this, the Great Christian Stories literature. And so it's pretty slow, like you only have to read a couple chapters a week or one chapter a week. It's very slow paced so that we can get our discussion in, and then we're still going to do a book club for like a pleasure read together. So anyways, I'm excited about this. So this will be a literature. Let's see. This is where I'm getting a little, her schedule's getting too heavy. I'm also doing logic. Logic counts as a philosophy credit, but we are very short on time. So the way I've got this worked out in my head and in our schedule is that we are only going to do this on Fridays, and I'm going to do it at a certain time with my 2 older ones, just because I do want the discussion and I do want the teaching part of it. And I'm still going to give them a credit, but if it takes us a year and a half to go through this book, that's okay. If it takes us, you know, I'm not limiting this book to only being able to finish it during this one school year, because instead of doing it every day or 2 days a week, I am just going to do it a little bit slower, but I'm going to start it, and that's okay. And if we have to miss a Friday, that's okay, but I hope it works out. I've actually got it scheduled in a couple days a week, but it'll probably end up being Fridays. This is something I always have them do. Actually, this is going to be the last year I have her do this. Don't tell her. Well, I'm sure she's probably somewhere listening to this video. this is just a word roots. It's kind of like a vocabulary. It's where they're breaking down the prefixes and suffixes of words to be able to do it. It's real short. I have them do one lesson a week, and I think it's some of the words in here you're never going to use, but just the skills of being able to break them down. There's a beginner book, level 1, level 2, level 3. So she's on her like 4th book of this, and so we just do this as is, and it doesn't have to be finished in the year time period, but I'm a fan of those. I think those are her main subjects for 9th grade, and it is kind of heavy. And so kind of how we organize is I print my kids off these lists, and then they have, you know, the days and then their subjects, and they're all pretty, and that way they can kind of check them off, you know, like they know what to do. But I've got 4 running around, so I'm always like, bring me your list, so I can see like what we messed up on or where we, you know, need to go back in our schedule. But for this year, what I had to do, I spent a lot of time on this. So this is 3 different proposed oh, math. See, I didn't even mention math. I'll go ahead and mention math. That's a big one. That's my favorite. It's number 1 on the list of this schedule. We are doing Shorman math. She is doing Shorman. She did it last year for Algebra 1. She's doing it this year for Algebra 2. Between Algebra 1 and Algebra 2, you get a half geometry credit during the Algebra 1, and then you get your half geometry credit in Algebra 2. So after the 2 years, you end up with 3 math credits: Algebra 1, Algebra 2, and geometry. So, and I think Lauren and I have a whole video coming out about how we're doing Shorman math, because I also have my 7th grader doing pre-algebra, and she has one of hers doing Shorman as well. It's online based. It was a kind of a transition, a change from what we were used to, but we love it. So Shorman math. So back to this is what I had to spend a lot of time working on. So like I mean, this was option 1, this was option 2, and this is option 3, just playing with the schedules. And so I told my daughter, I said, let's just, you know, do this schedule, and if it doesn't work, let's do this one, and then, you know, there's another one, to try to just help out with the time management. Because in the morning, she's getting up and going to cross-country practice for the local school. She has basketball practice in the afternoon for the local school, and then she does some individual workouts and strength training on her own. So her time window is a little bit cramped. Oh, and then on Wednesdays, we do our biology labs with Lauren's family. So I'm just trying to work out like what would be the most efficient use of our time. So I've done a few different schedules to where some of them she is not doing it every subject every day. You might think of it as like university or like block scheduling, where she might be doing, you know, 2 of the grammars, and then the next day she's doing 2 sections of biology, and then, you know, one day she doesn't have to do this subject because she's already finished it. So that's something that was I spent a lot of time on to try to help, and so I think we're really good with that. The block type scheduling is working well with our schedule to make it, instead of transitioning from subject to subject, to just maybe feel like you have time to do some quality work. And one thing about the Shorman math is they only have 100 lessons, and then they have their quizzes, which are pretty short, so you could do a quiz and a lesson in the same day, and then they have their quarterly exams. So you could do the math 3 days a week to 4 days a week and still finish math on time, like go 3 days 1 week, 4 days 1 week, and things like that. So anyways, just trying to help my high schoolers schedule. So those are the 9th grade picks for the 2024-25 school year. If you have any questions about them, let me know. We'll post this video. Lauren and I would love for you to subscribe to our channel, follow along. We love comments or emails, you know, saying things that you might be interested in seeing, you know, what we do, or video content you would like. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching.